Welcome to the live show. Playing a little bit of the beta right now because I get to make instant level 70 characters, and as I've mentioned before, I do have a level 58 boost, and you're only allowed to have one. You cannot accrue more. So you have to kind of really figure out what you want to do. And I know that I want to play my druid up to level 70, and I know that it's going to be the night elf. So that I've decided, and that was a very, very difficult decision. When it comes to an alt character, you know, there's always that chance I could go horde. But the reason I never did that was actually pretty simple. Because the server that I'm on is actually really amazing for Alliance. It's got the highest population, and it's just great. The one that my horde is on, not so great. So it's kind of like I'd have to move him to another server. That costs a lot of money. So I could always make a new character, make him a horde, but I don't know if I want to do that. So anyhow, my options are really limited, which is good. There's the little gnome warlock. There's the gnome mage. These are some possibilities. These ones are good because you can make food for people, you can portal people, you can increase their mana pool for half hour at a time or an hour if you have the reagent. Warlocks are just badass for survivability. They do a little bit of AoE, but these guys can really pull some dungeons. You can power level people. There's a lot of stuff that you can do for people. This is a copy of my real rogue right here being tested out on the beta. And I really do like my rogue. I mean, he doesn't have a lot to offer, but he's kind of flashy. I mean, he looks like a bum. Your armor doesn't match. But yeah, whenever I get a notification from YouTube, it shows up in the opposite email that I use on you. Oh, that's interesting. How are you doing there, Darkside? So I'm over that. Hey, Pro Hitman, you're up early. How's everyone doing this morning? So that's what's going on for that. When it comes to an alt, I mean, I've thought of the whole human paladin thing. You know, it's not too terrible. It's not a... I don't know. Human paladins are actually one of my favorites. I mean, they are pretty great. I don't like what they look like when it comes to casting. Dwarfs are cool. I like the hunter and the rogue. So there was always that option of being a dwarf rogue as well, which is kind of neat. And I do have one of those that I could boost up to 58. Anything I could boost up to 58. That's good. Then the night elf, we already have a night elf druid. If I were to play an alt, I don't think I would want a night elf of something else because I already have a night elf. And then again, I've already talked about the gnome. The Draenei are kind of cool, but there's just other races that I prefer. And then when it comes to the horde, I like orc, but their shoulders are just too big and you can't hide them in classic. You can't transmog them. Remember, this is not retail. This is classic World of Warcraft. So they have over-exaggerated, unproportioned shoulder pads. And it bothers me. It really, really bothers me. Undead are cool. But as a caster, they kind of suck because when you have a staff on your back, it's really crooked because of how hunched over you are. So you could have a staff and it would just look like very angular, very, very odd. And that's unfortunate because I don't want to ever look at my character and be like there's an aspect of it that drives me nuts. It's the same thing with the trolls. I don't mind their hunchback if they're wearing, you know, like weapons. But as soon as you have a staff on your back, because of how they're hunched, the snap point is right around here. So your staff almost shoots out like a rocket. It's not like, you know, nicely down your back like this. What don't you understand? I use one email for Google, but I get YouTube notifications from my second email account. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm just kind of rambling really quick as to why I like certain classes and why I don't. And then the Blood Elves are cool. They have that, you know, that stance there where they kind of stand on their right leg. But overall, it's pretty straight. So if they have something on their back, it's pretty decent. They can be pretty cool in some ways. I'm just not too sure. Well, you know, I can try it really quick. Did you use soap? What happens with me, speaking of that, is sometimes what'll happen is when I shower, depending on the kind of deodorant that I use, it's really weird. I could end up, like within a couple of hours, be like, what the heck is this? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I just fucking showered, but it's not like me, it's my deodorant. Some of them just don't work well. So I have to use very specific ones, like the gel types, but it has to be a certain brand. Otherwise, you'll pass out. It's fucking disgusting. Yeah, so this guy we're not gonna do. That's just not gonna happen. This guy's not gonna happen. Just because we already have a night elf. Might as well get rid of him because... This is the beta, by the way. Just in case you're like, oh my god, he's deleting all those characters. This is a copy of my real one. I don't technically need him on here either. So these are real potentials that I could make. So I'm just going to test this one out really quick, and then I'll hop into my my normal account. See here, we can go to interface display, we can show the helm, we can hide the cloak. Let me see if I've got a staff. No, I've got a wand. I might be able to grab a staff. Just to show you how nice it looks on their back. Where is... There it is. Yeah, so I'm very picky with the visual representation of a character because after all, you're stuck looking at, you know, looking at it forever. You can't change it, you can't race change, you can't be like, well, you know, if I don't like it, I can change it later. Yeah, no, you can't change it later.
I have just the thing.
There is none of that shit in Classic. You want something different, you gotta re-roll, bitch.
May the eternal
And that's
sun shine.
not a lot of fun. You're talking a good 300 hours of gameplay before you get to the mountaintop. It's fucking insane. 200-300 hours to get back to level cap just because you didn't like an aspect of your character. So you better come correct and know first time around what it is you want to do.
Winds be at your back.
Cool. Did you go on camera when you stream? See, this one's not too bad. You could see how he puts all his pressure on the right leg. You know, that, you know, it's kind of like his stance. That's how they heal, which is not too bad. Let's get a few more skills out. Yeah, so there's that one there. The fortitude buff. Let's do this really quick. Yeah, it's not too bad. So what I'll do... Oh, you don't? Okay. That can make sometimes a big difference in the success of your YouTube channel. Because there are some people that stream, but they don't go on camera. No, we're going to leave that there. I want to show you the old shadow form. It's actually pretty cool. Right about... There it is. The shadow form. This is actually pretty neat. There we go. Really, really neat. Gives you that, you know, certain look. Shadow Word of Pain. Shadow Word of Death. Mind Flay. Mind Blast. So this would be the basic rotation of a Shadow Priest if I ever did this for an alt. So you kind of lift your hands up in the air like that. Bam. That looks pretty neat. There's the Mind Flay with his hand reaching out. It's pretty cool. Like that. It's not too bad. Like I said, I'm pretty picky with animations. Sounds good. So that's why I do this sometimes. While I have a beta at my disposal to play with, I feel that it's important to do that. Because like I said, once you make your character, there is no going back. And it would be kind of interesting to maybe have one horde, one alliance, but there's also some benefit to only having, you know, the same faction for both if I even bother doing an alt to begin with. I also cannot be on the same server, like I've mentioned, because back in the old days, too many people threatened each other from opposing factions. So they got rid of that. Anyhow, so that's the basic shadow casting animations for a Blood Elf. It's not too bad. It's got a very interesting look when you're in that shadow form. But this is the one that I'm actually more leaning towards. So I'll actually show you really quick. See? Very short little midget bastard. That's okay. I like the little gnomes. See, look at that casting animation. It's pretty cool. I really like it. It's very simplistic. That's like the drain life so that you can get your health back. You can mana tap, you can AoE, you can have pets. Look at this. Throw a couple of seeds of corruption and look what happens after a few moments. Bam! Just massive explosions. It's really, really freaking cool. See? Because each one had their own seed of corruption on them. Welcome back. So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards the gnome. Or, not the gnome, just the warlock in general, see? There's the pets that I can have. So it's like, you're like a caster hunter, if you know what I mean by that. And that's just one of the pets. The other one... Well, I mean, usually the main reason people don't show their face on camera is because they just don't feel comfortable. Not everybody's comfortable doing that. So that's a little bit of a DPS boost for the Imp. You've got the Succubus, which is really good for interrupting, spellcasting. Voidwalker is like your tank. I'll show you this one again. You can summon people. There's just a lot of badass things that you can do with a Warlock. There's not much that you can do in terms of, you know, having something to offer people. There's no, like, buff that you can give people, really. I mean, the only thing you could do is just help people kick the shit out of something that they're having a hard time with. But in terms of healing them or bringing them back to life, not really. But you can... What you can do is make them a stone, which is like a potion, which is really, really cool. So there's that. Yeah, it's really cool, and that this is... I just wanted to show you briefly what it looks like at level 70. This is kind of like the direction that I was thinking of going in. And again, when you compare it to like my troll, that really tall character... Well, there's my troll rogue to give you some perspective again. Let's sacrifice him. I just want to stand next to this guy so you can get the size difference. He keeps moving away from me. He doesn't trust me. For some unknown reason. Well, fuck that guy then. Everybody's running away from the gnome. So these are blood elves. As you can see, I'm about only half the height of a blood elf. Were you asking that as a question, or because I honestly don't know? I think it's just because you're not comfortable with it. I think you may have mentioned it before, but no offense, I just don't remember. This is a Draenei. They're considered a bit of a tall character, and never mind that. So that's the size difference. They're very, very short. The gnomes. That kind of bothers me from a visual presentation, because I like seeing like a big, clear character. If you're in a huge clusterfuck of people, and you're just this little itty-bitty gnome, it might be hard to kind of see you. However, if you zoom in a little bit, you could kind of compensate for that, like that. Like I would normally play this, I would never play this close. Sorry, if I was a Draenei, I wouldn't want my character taking up the whole screen. But if I was playing a gnome, I think I could get away with it just being, you know, zoomed in like this a little bit. And then again, your standard human, right there. So there you have it. And when they dance, they're pretty funny. So, that's probably what I'm gonna do. These are just overly blown up for the beta. World of Warcraft just wanted to have some fun. Obviously. Torns are not that big. I'm barely up. Yeah, that's kind of funny. And then there's the undead. The undead I like. Their posture's cool, but they look like shit when they're holding a staff. There's a female undead warlock. That's the caster interrupter. They're just incredibly powerful in PvP. And they're just fun. They're just something different, you know, to play. They're wildly different. And that's going to be enough of that for now, and I'm just going to get into some actual gameplay here. So that was the beta. We're actually going to go on the live servers now. And I'm just going to play my druid as I contemplate and think about what I want to do. I just wanted to do a bit of a recap as to what it is that goes through my head when I'm playing the game. Not overly that exciting. So there's my 34 druid. See, there's my little Bunum right there, level 2. But again, I can make him a 58. So yeah, there you have it. The mage, maybe I'll show you later. The mage is cool, but let me just play some actual game. Something productive, rather. The mage is slightly flashier in some ways, not as great as survivability. But they're still really neat. Wait for me to get rendered in. I gotta go all the way to Desolus, to Nigel's Point, and I don't believe I have that flight path yet. So this will actually make for an interesting little journey.
What brings you here?
No, see, we can't go there. We don't have it. It's down below over here somewhere.
Good luck, friend.
Well, good thing I got a mount. We've got a long journey ahead of us, going through what's called the Stone Talon Mountains, predominantly a horde area, but whatever. We're gonna get that flight path, and then I might fly around a couple of places to hand in some quests, but we'll just kind of see how that works out in a moment. This should be a relatively calm, quiet journey. Although I said that yesterday when I was in the Barrens, and we ended up with 2 orc warlocks with the absolute best gear in the entire game. And they weren't going to do too much until I got attacked by a blood elf paladin that was only but a few levels below me, and I was whooping his ass. But of course, you know, 2 level 60 warlocks in tier 2 and tier 3 armor. I was simply delaying the inevitable. But they didn't stick around, they didn't camp me, so that technically doesn't make them an asshole. It's part of the game. Rarely, sometimes on your journey, you'll find someone that'll just wait for you. And he'll stick around your corpse because when you resurrect, you're not buffed, you only have half your health. And there's people that are just assholes like that. So what is the reason, Hitman? Again, these are the slow parts. Sometimes people might find these very monotonous. Doesn't bother me in the least. Obviously, at level 100, I'm going to have a mount that's 40% faster. I'll be able to zip around much quicker. I'll likely have every flight path uncovered as well. You'll be able to traverse around much quicker. Not only that, but most people will be hanging out in Outlands, and in Outlands you can fly. So it'll almost sort of kind of not really make you feel like I'm playing World of Warcraft retail when I'm in the Outlands territory. Again, the original classic World of Warcraft gave us Kalimdor and the Eastern Kingdoms. And the Burning Crusade, launching in a couple of weeks, gives us this... See? There's the Kalimdor, Eastern Kingdoms. Gives us this other planet, literally called the Outlands. And over here, it's fucking massive. And you can fly all over here so long as you pay for it. And you're level 70. So again, very unlikely, but not impossible, for me to actually potentially just boost my druid and not even bother with an ult. But that would be because I'm lacking patience if I did that. I kind of like going through the motions. It's not like I'll have to do this another 100 times. But as I've said in the past, I mean, overall, over the course of 17 years, 130,000 hours, I've done this bullshit so many times. I just want to be at the top of the mountain, fully geared, giddy up, let's go. Do the PvP, roam around, help people out. I could boost my guy, like I said, to 58 right now and be ready for Outlands. Nothing says I can't level up another character after, it's just it's going to take longer. By having taken the shortcut of boosting this guy right away, right? Takes about a couple of hours per level at the rate I've been going as well, if you're curious. So if I go hog wild for 10 hours straight, I might get 5 levels. So in about 10 to 14 hours, I could probably be level 40. And I gotta go all the way to level 58. So, yeah, it's pretty... 20 hours, 10 levels, 20... 40 hours... I could still be looking at close to 40 hours of gameplay. So in 4 days, I could be level 58 or 60 if I play 10 hours a day and do absolutely nothing else. Not entirely my idea of fun. We've got someone there that's dead as an NPC. That means there's likely a horde in here somewhere. I'm always looking around because I'm just so used to on a PvP server, always having to watch your back, but again, the people are pretty decent overall. And now we are where we need to be. Oh, that was the other reason why I was contemplating not doing an alt. Is also because there is no there's no dual spec. So if you recall on retail, You can now just hit... You can tell we're in a different biome now, eh? This is the Desolus. There's also a thing where in retail, you've got different talent trees, right? You can just pick the one that you want and swap to it. There is no option to swap to, like, activate it. So, like, right now, my points are in Feral. I could put points in here as well. Like, I can mix it up all I want, but there's no, like, actual activation. So if I come to a point where I'm like, no, I want to be Restoration. Well, guess what? I have to go back to a trainer, I have to respec, and my gear isn't magically going to give me what I need. What I mean by that is on retail, one armor set works for everything. You want a tank? Cool. You want to heal? You want a range DPS? You want a melee DPS? You wear the same fucking armor. This is all agility and stamina. So if I want to heal, I need intellect. My gear doesn't also come with intellect. So you have to basically spend 10 times as much time farming a second set of gear. So that's essentially your ult right there. So again, there is a lot of logic to not playing an ult and boosting this guy just to 58. Hey TD, how's it going? Are you new to the channel? How are you doing this morning? Or this evening. Depends on what part of the world you're from. Not everything's always about North America. So yeah, this is kind of like a cool looking area. Brings back a lot of memories as well. Then again, I say that for every zone. Just the game overall brings back a lot of memories, especially this version of it.
Hello.
What can I do for you?
Hey there.
Interest ya in a pint?
Turned in, accept,
How are you?
discover. Oh yeah, the flight path. We definitely don't want to forget that. That is so important.
How may I help?
Now here's the
Goddess,
thing.
watch over you.
Go to the Howling Vale and study the tome. Forest Song. Forest Song. See, there's just people everywhere. Just when you think you're not going to run into people. Oh, you are.
Excellent.
So, Ashen Vale. Let me just kind of... No section there. Oh, apparently. Oh, right. Oh, boy. Yeah, I forgot how big this map was here. Not a lot of flight paths. Not a lot of spirit healers, too. No matter where you die, this is the only place you'll be resurrected to. So that kind of sucks. Let me see. Kind of tempted to go back to Ashen Vale quickly. Before those quests become obsolete. Ashen Vale. And then Ratchet. Now I'm kind of feeling the Ashen Vale one. Let me just see how far... See, that's the thing. I'm not far from Ashen Vale. At all. Because I already got that flight path there, and I think... Oh, they added the... Ah, that's right. Okay, let's check
Can I
this out.
assist you?
Because they added a few flight paths, and... Yeah. See, we don't have that flight path there yet. That is a little bit out of the way, but... Damn it. Because we're right here. It's going to bring me all the way... Let me
Till
just
next
read the
we meet.
quest and see if it's worth me bringing in right away. The Howling Vale. Forest Song. Forest Song. Yeah, I just don't remember. And return the branch. Yeah, there's the branch. What about this one? View the tome. Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth me going there yet. But it tells you all the quests. Weapon Merchant. Howling Vale. The Branch of Cenarius. Fuck it. I'm wasting time.
Ishnu Allah.
Let me just go there quickly.
May the stars.
It'll be a nice little adventure. The flying around kind of sucks sometimes. But, whatever. I'll go and turn those in before they're useless. So, that'll take care of that. Rain's cleansing is something I'll do for later. That I'm not doing. So that'll take care of that. We're in the Desolus, so we just started that now. This one, I don't even know what that is. We probably don't even need to do that anymore. Because you can only hold 25 quests, by the way. There's all these, like, other quests that I have, but I don't want to manually delete them in case they're a part of the guide. That's why I usually do quest cleanup. But it's not working. It would automatically get rid of all the quests that I don't need. It would just know. But yeah. Hitman, have you ever played World of Warcraft? I forget if you've ever played this game at all. Well, it's not too bad. It'll take us about 3 minutes to get there. I wish flying was a little bit quicker. But, whatever. Like a good 25% quicker, I wish it was. Have you ever played World of Warcraft? I forget if you've ever played this game at all or not. Oh man, part of me just wants to boost this prick right now. 34, 44, 54. Man. That's like 20-something levels. No, eh? That's a lot. 20 levels. Yeah, it's gonna be a good 40 hours. 40 hours I would save myself. Average. Using that boost. I liked Cyberpunk, but I never finished it because it was such a fucking mess on the PC or anywhere that you play it. Some parts of the game I was able to have it play at 60 FPS solid. Some other parts I just couldn't. Then I used a trainer. I gave myself unlimited items. I had the best weapons. I had the game on the highest difficulty, and I was killing everything in one hit. And I thought it was incredibly boring. It was too fucking easy, even on the highest difficulty, because I had botched my save with the trainer, giving me all the max stats, infinite points. I was still hoping that there was going to be a challenge there. So I gave it up. I will probably play that game again in like another year once it gets updated more. Hopefully I get a new computer someday, sometime this year. I do have it on PC after all. Oh, I've played it since the updates. I mean, it's a lot better than it was day one. I just have a really old computer except for my graphics card, so it's very it's very old. I can run the game, but like I said, the trainer is what ruined it for me. The game world is pretty cool. It's pretty dense. It just didn't quite mechanically play out the way I was hoping. I was still hoping that on the highest difficulty, even with all the maximum armor and weapon and stat skills, that there would still be some kind of challenge. And I wasn't really feeling that. So I may have to replay the game from the beginning. Or try it again to see if they've balanced the difficulty. I don't know. But the concept of the game is a lot of fun. Absolutely. I like the idea of the game a lot. Well, this is relaxing. Some rain and Ashen Vale. Again, in the Burning Crusade, they've added a few flight paths, and that's what I'm about to go get right now, just to kind of make it a little wee bit more accessible. It doesn't really make the game easier, to be honest with you. It's just to kind of, you know, it loosens up some of the bullshit. They really added some flight paths and extra spirit healers in places I truly believe should have always been there, but it wasn't, and now they did that, and to me that's made a big difference. But yeah, the idea of the game is pretty fun. The whole first-person thing, I really do. Like, minus all the bullshit, like assuming it ran flawlessly at 60 FPS with no bugs. Oh yeah. I would have loved Cyberpunk. I would have finished it, but I kinda ruined it for myself. Rerum, how's it going? Who the fuck is those two? Who are those two people? No idea who those are. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you bought it, you might as well. And if you don't like it, you can refund it if you got it on Steam. So this is a high-level area right in this section here, but as soon as we cross the bridge, it's a lower-level area, and where we're going, you'll see they've added a flight path there that was not there up until the pre-patch. Yeah, we'll just go straight ahead. That's just an NPC. On the PS4? Oh, fuck. I say that because the base consoles are the worst. Xbox One and PS4 are the biggest pieces of shit when it comes to Cyberpunk. I mean, they pulled it from the store for a reason. Unless they brought it back, I don't know, but I know when I tried to buy it on the PlayStation store on my PS5, I couldn't even buy it. It wouldn't even let me. Yeah, I don't even think I could get it even if I wanted to.
Be careful.
See, there's always someone nearby. Now, let's not forget that flight path. This is what was not here up until, like, just a few days ago. Oh, you bought yeah, there's a reason it's not on the store. The developers don't even think it's ready yet.
Elune be with you.
So that I'll be able to get rid of. Okay, so this I can get rid of. Well, here, let me just do that bullshit
Hello.
while I'm flying. Okay, seriously?
Be careful.
Unfortunately, that was a necessary evil. Melon juice, that's all garbage. Tear of Taloa. What the hell? Oh, okay. Horizon Forbidden, that's like the new Horizon Zero Dawn, I assume? Parts. I'm trying to figure out what the hell quest this is tied to. The Tear of Taloa. Seems to be good so far. I mean, I haven't been kicked off yet. I mean, it's rare that that happens. Sometimes they do maintenance. It happens. Speak. That's 1,000 needles. That's the parts. That's the crate. Take Crevel's crate. That's the parts. So we'll get rid of that. We'll close that, that is. Tiger Mastery. You just kill tigers. Raptor. You just kill raptors. Bring Krezek's Fixed Pot. That's that one right there. Panther. You kill panthers. Let's get rid of that. Find Shikuro in Arathi Highlands. Find the Defias. Ah, that's what it's a part of. Okay, that's what I want to see. Tear of Taloa. A noble brew. Except that's a green quest, which means it won't give you a lot of XP. But at least that's where it came from. Okay. And then once they go gray, that means they're just completely useless. Alright. See, normally, this is why I always say with my streams it's mainly about chatting, because there's a lot of times I've spent like the last 10 or 15 minutes just cruising around flying, but unfortunately it comes with the territory. I also, when I stream, never want to feel like I have to play a game differently to make it a little bit more exciting, right? At the cost of me making my gameplay end up being longer. Right. I don't know if I'll get that game. I'll have to see. I'm not too sure. Let me see what the weather's going to be like today. I just wish I could figure out what the fuck I want to do. Seriously. I just can't seem to figure it out. That's the part that makes me angry about this game, and then sometimes makes me take a break for a while. It's when I just can't seem to get my shit together and be like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I know that I predominantly want to play a Night Elf Druid. Boom, that's done. That's like the biggest fucking hurdle. For years, I played multiple characters, and I spread myself out too thin. It was too stressful. Playing one character is just that. It's one character. As soon as you start throwing in a second character, well, that's twice as much work you gotta do. Plus, if I want to work on a second set of gear for this guy, because sometimes I might want to be a healer instead of a DPS class. It's kind of easier to do everything with one character. Nothing stops me again from just boosting him right now to 58. Level 60's the level cap. Get him right to the top of the mountain. And then start from scratch when I main character only a 34, but having my alt character being the one that's at level 58 ready for Outlands. So that kind of seems fucked up to me too, to do that. So that's kind of the thought process. Cool. There's a small piece of food for me waiting downstairs. So while I'm flying, I'm going to be there any second. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta piss anyways, to be honest. And my name's not Eric Cartman. I'm not going to piss in a bottle. So I'll be back in literally a minute. I'm going to go scarf down a small hash brown, take a piss, and I'll be right back. Ah, so much better. So in that time, I got to piss, get some water, and I ate a little more than I was expecting. I had some chicken, so that was pretty cool. That was pretty nice. Still a few people here. I'm surprised there's anybody left. Ah, these fucking glasses. One of these days, I swear I'm gonna get laser surgery to fix my mild astigmatism. I've already looked into it before. It wouldn't be as expensive as I thought it would be. And it would be such a minor thing. It would take like 10 or 15 minutes. They just have to kind of... You only eat one meal a day. God damn, if I did that, I'd be losing weight a lot quicker. But I also exercise a lot. I had like 2 fat chicken breasts just now. A small hash brown. Haven't had one of those in a while. Got some water. And my little water enhancer called Mio. Now my water tastes like lemonade. Oh, man, I really needed that. I don't do that too often, but shit, man. Real life comes first, right? Nobody's here. Now it wants us to set our hearthstone here, but for later it's going to be a bigger pain in the ass. So for the few people that are in here, what do you think I should do? Just be patient, level my 34 to 58, since I'm already more than halfway there? Or should I boost this druid, get it out of the way, just get him to 58, ready for Outlands on June the 1st, because this is my main character, but at the cost of now, if I want to play a warlock, I'm gonna have to start him off all the way from level 1. That seems pretty painful to me. Then again, having to play another 40 hours to get this guy to 58 seems kind of painful too. It's not that I'm burnt out from the game again. It's I've been doing this for 17 years. 130,000 fucking hours. Plus. And I'm still leveling up low-level characters. That's kind of my issue. That's why I'm like, ah, oh, come on already. Right? What the fuck? Oh, I was like... Good thing they're not hostile. I was like, the ground is shaking. What the hell's going on? How come this isn't working? What am I missing? Valerial's search. Ah, great. Now I gotta look that up. Figure out why I can't turn... That's really weird. That happens to me sometimes. I don't know if there's a... Huh. Accept Valerial's search. Right, and that's what I'm trying to do. There's nothing else here, though. Because it says turn in. It's so fucking weird. Let me see if there's anything I was missing. Nope. Turn in. That is fucked up. Unless there's an item on the ground that I'm missing. The last time I probably did this quest, and I do vaguely remember it, was probably 15 years ago. Seriously. So I may actually have to look this up quickly so that I don't, you know, just stand here all day. Yeah, Valerial's search. And it won't allow me to continue. It wants me to turn in that search, but yet continue the other one. That is some bullshit. Well, I don't have much of a choice. When all else fails... Valerial search. Yeah, bugged, yeah. Seems to be the case, alright. Okay, I am stealthed. I just don't get it. Classic Wowhead. So fucking weird. Huh. Part 1 is at 56:17. Problem is, I don't have... What the fuck? This is really weird. It's north of Thunder Axe Fortress. See? This guy here says it's at 56:17, which is where I think I am, next to the broken wagon. It's the box you need to open, and then it completes the quest. The second part of the series also starts right there from the box. But then a lot of people are saying it's not working properly. It's showing grayed out quest mark over the chest and it cannot be completed. I'm having this problem as well. Oh, and this was as of 2 days ago. Not like 20 years ago. Originally, these people... Look at that. Look when this was originally posted. 16 fucking years ago. Told you I wasn't making that shit up. This one was 17... Back in 2004. Telling you. But this was very recent. And reported it to bug. Reported it to Blizzard as a bug. Okay. So I'm not completely crazy then. Let's reload the UI and see if that does anything. Yeah, we just can't complete it. It's as simple as that. I'll have to move on. That is quite strange. Nothing I can do about it. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Sometimes those quests will, seriously, will unlock a chain, and that's where it could become problematic, but as long as I can level up, that's all I care about. That's unfortunate when that happens. Doesn't happen too often, but when it does, it's a pretty big piss-off. I know there's not a lot of people left in here, but nobody has any suggestions if I should just go from 34, use my free level 58 boost, just boost them up to the max level right now, get it over and done with, and then start my new character from level 1? Or should I boost to level 1 and manually have to still go through about 40 hours of gameplay to get this guy to the top? Because again, I want this to be my main, right? So it's going to be funny to have an alt, like I said, be at 58 and this guy would still be stuck at 34. And if you were allowed to have more than one boost, it wouldn't be a problem. But they're only allowing you to have one boost per account. Otherwise, I would just do both. Sweet, that's not taking too long. This quest I remember very well. Had quite a few PvP encounters here before in the past. I gotta admit though, all that's going through my head is boost a gnome warlock, boost a druid. But if you boost a druid, then you won't really be able to play the gnome warlock, and I can't stop thinking of it. It's gonna drive me insane. I almost feel like flipping a coin. The good news is though, 1 to 60 or 58 is 30% faster. Like, I mean, even at this high of a level, after a couple of hours, you can get a level. So for like every 10 hours that you play, you could probably get 5 levels. But playing multiple characters has a downfall, though. That's where you can sometimes get burned out. It's like, imagine all these quests that I've done over the past couple of 100 hours, having to redo that all over again. Like, wow. That's why most people I know don't bother with alts. Playing as these guys would be kind of cool. It'd be an interesting race to play. Hitman, are you still in here? I wanted to ask you something about the food. If you ever uncomfortably just get so hungry that you have to eat again. Because I know a guy like that too. He only eats once a day. And he doesn't eat all that much. But he looks like Santa Claus. Like, he's not super fat, but he's overweight. His body doesn't match how much he eats or how little he eats. And I get your metabolism can slow down if you don't eat all that much, but to the extent that he is, I have to admit it is a little bit odd. Well, at least I'm killing a lot quicker, it seems. I'm only a couple of levels above them. Those recent points make a big difference. 20% extra damage from my skills. 150% more attack power. Does make a big difference. Later. I guess he didn't want to answer that question. Like, even if I wanted to only eat one meal a day, I wouldn't be able to do it. I would be too miserable and hungry. Man, I'm really taking an ass whooping. Oh, I tell you, this part of the game can be so boring. But when you're doing PvP, it's a lot more fun. It's too bad there isn't a game just like World of Warcraft, or a server, rather, where you don't have to go through any of this shit. As funny as that sounds. And everybody's got the best gear, and all you do is a PvP. You do battlegrounds. Kind of like Call of Duty. You know, where it doesn't matter what level you are. If you shoot someone in the face a couple times with a bullet, they're dead. Doesn't matter what level you are. I'll see how much closer to 35 I can get. Because come the Burning Crusade on June the 1st, I really do think the pace of the game will be a lot faster too for PvP, if I can get to max level fast enough. And like I said, I'll probably make a copy of this character in 2 years' time when they go on to Wrath of the Lich King, so that I can forever stay at the top, because I'll have the best gear. And I would never have to quest ever again on this character. That would feel good. But yeah, I do understand when a lot of people say that WoW is super boring for them. Imagine having to play a game for 200 or 300 hours before you can get to the meat and potatoes. I still don't know how I've managed all these years. I think it's just the overall experience. Meeting all the people that I've met over the course of the years. When you do get to play with people. Kind of just makes it worth it, I guess. But I still also have to figure out if I do the gnome for an alt, I still got to figure out if I'm going to do mage or warlock. Or if I somehow want to do a horde alt. Because I have to stop forgetting that I do have a level 50 already. Troll rogue. But again, I don't like the server that he's on. 32. But I am glad that I chose Night Elf over Tauren. For the Druid, only because that was also a hard decision to make. It took me literally a couple of months to figure that shit out. Time is it? Debating if I should take a small break. I mean, I'll probably still keep playing, but turn in reagents. Because I know on the weekend streams, depending on the time of day, they could be fucking slow as shit. What would be really neat is if somehow today I could reach level 40. Not impossible, but it would definitely take a lot of effort for that to happen.
Talk to me.
Actually, you know what? I want to empty my bags. I was gonna say there's nowhere to repair.
What brings you here?
That's the old shit. I don't need that crap. Don't need that.
Good luck, friend.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take a small break. Maybe come back in a couple of hours or something. See if there's maybe a little bit more people. I've already been streaming for like an hour and a half anyways. I don't tend to like streaming much longer than that. Because like I've said before, I do enjoy playing games. Sometimes without always having to record and stream everything. It can be in some ways a little bit more relaxing. But yeah. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock, or quarter to 10. So probably just a little bit before lunch. Like I said, probably in, yeah, about an hour, hour and a half or so. Give or take. And I'll probably come back. This will also give me better time as well for me to kind of figure out what I want to do. Because sometimes I just want to stare at my character, go to the login screen, hop back and forth between certain characters, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I can promise you, you do not want to fucking see that. Because then there's no action going on, right? But it's something that I need to do to help me figure out what the hell I want to do. So, I think that's what I'm going to do for now. And then I'll be back a little bit later and see if it's a little bit more chatting. Oh, there's another.
By the light of the moon.
Oh, there's a gnome mage right there. That's what I was thinking of looking like. He's copying me. That's my twin. But his name is too long. A little bit of an odd name, but, you know, whatever. Alright, I shall be back. Hour and a half-ish or so. And we'll see if things pick up just enough to have at least one person chatting. Alright, so I shall see some of you later.